بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحقيقة أهلا بكم أحبتي في درس جديد ومحاضرة جديدة. اليوم سنتحدث عن المثال الثاني بموضوع السنترويد أو بموضوع تحديد ثقل الأجسام المساحي، أو بموضوع تحديد ثقل المساحة بالتحديد لحدود متعددة، لجسم ذو حدود متعددة أو حدود متعددة في حدود متعددة للمناطق ثنائية الأبعاد في الإكس واي بلان، يعني في المستوي العيني والصادي، العيني والصادي، في المستوي السيني والصادي، اكس واي، يعني اكس واي بار. So today, in the name of God, the most gracious, in the name of Allah, the most gracious, most merciful, also still we are again here, right, new lecture, most associated to the example 2, which is very much associated to exactly and related, ultimately, right, in the centroid, determination of the centroid for the two-dimensional areas of the XY plan, exactly here. So the area is of a multiple front areas about to visualize right here, exactly in this very particular occasion, as you can see as an indicated by the following depicted figure right here for you, which is pretty much. So the pretty much is going to be like as indicated right here for the depicted figure. يعني كما ترون امامكم بالشكل الموضح منطقه ذات حدود متعدده. حد هو خط مستقيم مرمز ب او له معادله يساوي اجزاء 2، as well as يعني كذلك منطقه ذو حد داله تربيعيه منحنيه معطاة بالشكل الدالي او معطاة بالشكل المعادلاتي لواحد يساوي واي يساوي اكس تربيع. As you can see, the front of the straight line function is indicated by the structural equation given by the following equation form of the y equal to x plus 2, as you can see, as well as y equal to x squared. This y equal to x squared is going to be like curved quadratic equations in the form of the y in terms of the x, as you can see, in the form of quadratic x. And formulated as form of quadratic x form is indicated by pretty much states or pretty much stipulates. As you can see in front of you, the example pretty much stipulates or compels us to act accordingly, exactly as the following statement pretty much indicates, or the following statement pretty much implies. Determine the coordinates of the centroidal or the centroidal axis of the area exactly shown in the figure, or shown by the figure, bounded by the curve, just like we said, the curve quadratic equation of in the equational form set in the equational form of y equals to x squared, as you can see. Y in terms of the quadratic form of x is in form of x squared, as you can see right here, null part for you. As well as the line, which is going to be like a line, straight line, segment of y equals to x plus 2, a polynomial of the unitary power form, as indicated by the. So the a equals to the integration of the area. Just like we said, a integration will be taken exactly for the area, as the following indicated. Antiderivative really pretty much implies, as you can see, for the antiderivative for dA. The dA, or the A, let's just see, the A is pretty much conjugated with the D, just to refer to the A is pretty much differentiable in this case. So the antiderivative, which means that the entire interval of the particle exactly here, or the infinitesimal intervals exactly are entirely, can be integrated or integrable exactly with respect to A. With respect to A, or the entire infinitesimal intervals of the A can be, or even pretty much can be integratable exactly here. The entire just like the entire interval and any two-dimensional area exactly here is for the area. Of course, the area is going to be like in two dimensions, but the entire infinitesimal intervals of the area of the two-dimensional planning, actually what is this very depicted figure right here for you, are integratable, are entirely and ultimately integratable, as you can see for you. So the A of the antiderivative, as you can see in front of you, pretty much indicates that the antiderivative is of a certain limit that the A is pretty much bounded by. The terms of the antiderivative is the same terms as the figure that the area is pretty much bounded by, as you can see in front of you. Just like from 1 to 2 or from 2 to 1, as you can see in front of you, as you're pretty much all aware. So as you can see in front of you, A equals to the integration of the antiderivative effect right of the dA of A. A, as you can just like we said, the terms of the antiderivative that we're actually dealing with exactly here is of the same terms of the bounded area that we're actually visualizing, or that we're actually integrating by using the antiderivative influence right here exactly in this very particular occasion. Equals to the antiderivative for the x1, x2, or from x2, x1 for the y2, y1 dx. y1, y2 exactly is going to be like the both functions can be more stipulated by the equation exactly in terms of y, or in terms of the independent variable of y. Or even formulated by y independent variable y or dependent variable exactly, or independent variable exactly in terms of the independent variable of x, as you can see for me. So the x will be integrated as well as it will be evaluated right exactly here, replacing the y, as you can see in front of you. Replacing both y2 exactly here and dx. So the y as well as y the both y is going to, just the y2 is going to be replaced by the dx, or replaced by the x exactly here. Whatever x is given by any example you can ever come across exactly here. So the y equals to the x squared as well as y equals to x plus 2. As well, pretty much all. So the y will be replaced by x exactly in order to integrate with respect to x exactly here, as you can see. So x independent variable in this case will be like differentiable just by indicated, or just by it's conjugated with the d term, or the d letter, as you can see in front of you. The d letter pretty much indicates that the x pretty much is differentiable, as you are pretty much aware. Equals to as indicated by the following form. The area that we're actually dealing with is of a straight line, as you can see. So this is the straight line given the equation form of y equal to, or the polynomial form of y equals to x plus 2. A uniform form of x plus 2 equals y in this case, as well as y equal to x squared. In this case, quadratic equation could be exactly considered. A quadratic equation with quadratic form of x is indicated by the formula equal to y. So this will be considered as y2. y2 is going to be considered as an x squared, as well as the y1 is going to be considered as an x plus 2 minus x squared. As you can see, all integrated with respect to dx. As you can see, so the term of the x plus 2 minus x squared is going to be like in form, or is going to be like after the replacement of y, right in terms of x, or right after the replacement of y, right by x. The replacement of y is implemented y by x is going to be like exactly formulated as follows. The entire derivative from the 2 to 1 x plus 2 for the y1 stands for the y1 is indicated by the formula, as well as minus x squared stands for the y2 as indicated by the formula, or integrated by the influence of the entire derivative of y here exactly here, termed by the following terms as you can see here, right with respect to the x. The independent variable of both functions given or stipulated by the question, as you can see here, function of the polynomial as well as the function of the polynomial in the form of y equals x squared, as well as the function of the quadratic equation given by the following equation formulation of y equals to x plus 2, as you'll pretty much all. So in this case, the term will be considered as follows. In terms of, we can consider from 2 right up to 1. 2 right up to 1. The upper limit of integration, as you can see, or the upper term of the integration is indicated right for it. So by integrating the x, it's going to be turned to the x squared to 2, or the product form of the x squared to 2, as you can see, right? Plus 2x. 2 is going to be like conjugated with x after being integrated right with respect to dx. As well as the x squared is going to be turned to the x cubic right to 3 after being integrated right with respect to dx as well. Exactly here. So the terms of the integration will be turned into the following terms, as you can see, will the same, will kept the same. It's got from 2 up to 1, the upper limit of the integration, or the upper term of the integration, equals to the 4.5 inch squared. This is pretty much going to be considered the area in this case. The area of the boundary region that we're actually seeing in this very depicted figure, or that we're actually citing in this very depicted figure right here in front of you. This is the area. هنا المساحة، يعني المساحة تساوي تكامل للدي اي. الاي هنا انوصفت بالدي. ليش؟ او اقترنت مع الدي للاشاره على انه الاي هي عباره عن فترات هائله العدد، فترات هائله قابله للتكامل. الاي ارتبط مع الدي، يعني الاي ارتبط مع الدي، اقترنت بالدي على اشاره على انه الاي هي قابله للتفاضل وقابله للتكامل في نفس الوقت. فالاي استخراج الاي، لاستخراج الاي نقوم بمكامله الصوره التفاضليه للاي. So we just got to integrate here the dA form of the a is here in order to get the a. يعني نكامل الصوره التفاضليه للدي اي، او نكامل الصوره التفاضليه للاي اللي هي صوره دي اي بالتكامل كما ترون امامكم، والتكامل يكون كمان من 2 الى 1. كذلك كما ترون امامكم كما موضح بالشكل امامكم يكون من 2 الى 1. نكامل الدي اي حتى نحصل على الاي. اذا يساوي التكامل من اكس 1 من اكس 2 اكس 1 واي 2 واي 1 دي اكس. الواي 2 والواي 1 والواي 2 فقط، هنا اكس زائد 2 واي 1، الواي 1 اكس زائد 2 واكس تربيع. هنا اكس زائد 2 جتي منه من الشكل الموضح امامكم. الاكس زائد 2 هي الايكويشنال فورم، يعني الصوره المعادلاتيه المعطاه بالداله اكس زائد 2. والاكس تربيع هي المعطاه بالداله الثانيه، او الاكس زائد 2 هي معطاه بالداله الثانيه. نعم، اكس زائد بالداله الثانيه واي ايكوال تو اكس سكوير، يعني واي يساوي اكس تربيع معطاه بالداله الثانيه. لذا المنطقه المحصوره بين المنطقه الخط المستقيم والداله التربيعيه ذات المنحني التربيعي كما موضح امامكم of the square curve as indicated by the quadratic curve as indicated by the two-dimensional figure will equal to the integration، يعني ستساوي التكامل للاكس زائد 2 واي 1 ناقص اكس تربيع واي 2 دي اكس. نكمل للاكس يساوي اكس تربيع الى 2 زائد 2 اكس، اكس تكعيب الى 3 ناقص اكس تكعيب الى 3. اذا حدود التكامل كما او حدود التكامل هي الاكس، حدود التكامل هي الاي هي حدود التكامل اكس تربيع اي، والاكس تربيع هي حدود التكامل اي، والاكس 2 هي حدود التكامل. اذا اكس تربيع على 2 زائد 2 اكس ناقص اكس تكعيب الى 3 يساوي 4.5 انش تربيع. المقاسة يجدر بنا التنويه على أنه جميع القياسات في المثال الذي المشروح الآن بفضل الله تعالى إن شاء الله سوف تقاس بالمليمتر أو تقاس بالإنش والفيت، الإنش والفيت. الآن نجد بعد أن وجدنا المساحة نجد الإكس داش والواي داش. الإكس داش بالنسبة للمساحة الموضحة أمامكم، المساحة ذات ثنائية الأبعاد الموضحة أمامكم بالشكل هو نفس الإكس، أي المسافة من حافة أو من منتصف الشريحة المأخوذة عموديا خلال المنطقة إلى المحور واي. هو نفس الإكس داش هو نفس الإكس إلى المحور واي بالنسبة للمحور واي. As you can see, from the x dash is going to be like the centroidal, the coordinate, the first coordinate of the centroidal axis, or the first coordinate of the centroidal x, exactly going to be taken, or even exactly to be carried for the following value region, two-dimensionally as indicated by the vector figure right here before you, as you can see. So the x dash equal to the x in this case. X dash equal to x will be taken exactly from the ledge of the ray for the vertically positioned strip right to the y-axis indicated by you. So the following vertical position strip is indicated for you, where the x is going to be taken right from the ledge right up to the y-axis, where the respective y-axis is going to be like exactly carried that way exactly for the calculation of the y bar or the y dash exactly in the same time as it is calculated for, or as it is stands for the calculation of the x dash or the x bar as indicated by for it. So the x bar will be counted as x exactly in this case. Since we have a vertically positioned strip, two-dimensional strip exactly here. So the x bar is going to be taken exactly from the vertical position strip to the two-dimensional vertical position strip as you can see from the ledge of this very two-dimensional vertical strip is indicated for the two-dimensional vertically positioned strip as you can see from the very ledge of this two-dimensional vertical strip strip as you can see from up to the y-axis, right with respect to the y-axis. So the x dash will equal to x, or the x will equal to x in this case. Just like we said, we're just going to have to rewind this all over again. Yeah, the x will be taken exactly from the ledge of the very two-dimensional strip or the two-dimensional vertical position strip as indicated by 40, right exactly up to the x, or the y up to the y, x is indicated by 40. From the ledge of the very two-dimensional strip or two-dimensional vertical position strip as you can see as indicated by 40 by the figure, right up to the y-axis with respect to the y-axis. Y-axis for y dash equal to y2, y1 as you can see from 2 plus y1. Equals to the x plus 2, sorry, after the evaluation of the y squared, exactly, or after the evaluation of the y, in terms of the x, exactly, here, this return of this very term, as you can see, from the terms of the following term is the k part, or this term can be turned exactly at the following term, right, exactly at the left-hand side, or even exactly at the, in the left-hand side of the equation is the k part. Equation of y bar equals to y2, y1 to 2 plus y1, as you can see, Why is that? It's like the expression for this, or even like just saying the explanation, adequate explanation for this, exactly is going to be listed by the following visualization. Or it's going to be exactly illustrated by the following visualization we're about to do right now. As you can see for the y bar. For the y dash coordinates of the two-dimensional infinitesimal two-dimensional vertical position strip as you can see is indicated right for it can be taken right from the middle of this very two-dimensional position vertical strip as you can see in front of you, right, vertically positioned strip as you can see, or two-dimensional vertically positioned strip is indicated right for you exactly from the middle of this very strip right exactly to the x-axis. This is y bar, or this is y dash. It's x bar, but not y bar. X dash only, or x bar only as well. The y is going to be counted as y dash. Going to be said is exactly as y dash, other than to be at y bar, not y bar, but y dash. Exactly as you can see in front of you. So the y dash is going to be taken exactly from the middle point, from the midpoint of this very two-dimensional strip, two-dimensional vertically positioned strip, as you can see in front of you, right up to the y, or right up to the x-axis, as we are pretty much sure is the game for you. So we have the whole entire distance from the very top of this very two-dimensional vertical axis, exactly, or vertical strip, exactly, right up to the x-axis is going to be like y2, or y1, as you see here, y1. So this is y2, as you can see for you. From the ledge of the top point of the strip, exactly right up to the y-axis, and by subtracting both exactly here, we can extract the half of the y, or half of the y2, which is mainly is going to be like this region. Half of the y2, half of the y2, or the y1 minus y2. Half of the y1 minus y2, which means it's going to be like the y1 minus 2 to 2, which is going to be like the half of the y1 minus y2, right up to 2 exactly here, as you can see in front of you. So, by this half, plus the y, as indicated by 40, plus the y, as indicated by 40, this results in the extraction, or the obtaination of the suitable value of y dash, to be subsequently evaluated in integration to find the x dash or the y dash, or the entire y dash of the entire y dash coordinates of the following two-dimensional area that we're actually having right now, exactly in this very two-vector figure, as was in this very particular occasion of lecture, as well. So the y dash equal to the y2, y1, or the y1, y2 to 2 plus y1, plus the y1, the entire y1 exactly as indicated by 40, right up to the x-axis, equals to the x plus 2, x squared 2 plus x squared. X squared plus x plus 2 is x squared plus or even x squared minus x minus 2 equal to the indicated motion, as you can see in front. This is going to be solved by trial. x minus 2, x plus 1 equal to the indicated minus x. So the x will return exactly the following form, or the following term, x equals 1 as well as x equal to 2. This is the terms of integration, as you all pretty much all of. That's how we extract the terms of integration. That's exactly the modality we extract the terms of integration with, exactly, in this very particular occasion. As you can see, the following y, as well as what each with y, will turn to the following term of x. As you can see, the form of x will be exactly counted and will be dependent exactly to solve with, or to be integrated exactly to find y dash as well as x dash in the same time. So x plus 2 is going to stand for exactly for the y1, as well as the minus x squared, same as this thing, or same as the terminology we did exactly for the area, or by the area technicalities, or by the area of by the technicalities of finding the area, as you can see from, or the obtention of the area, as you can see from. So the x or the y1 minus y2 to 2 plus y1 or plus y. Exactly here. So the x minus, plus 2 is going to be like stand for the y1, as well as minus x squared. X squared is going to stand for the y2, as indicated by 40, to 2 plus the x squared. X squared is going to be like y, as given by the following example, or the explanation for the following example is indicated by the following two-dimensional figure, or two-dimensional straight line, or two-dimensional quadratic form curve, as indicated by given by the equation form of the y equal to x squared, or y in terms of the quadratic x form of the x squared, as indicated by. So plus x squared is given for the x dash equal to, just like we said, and just like we learned before and formally, that the x dash will be extracted from the preceding, or let's just say that the x dash will be extracted from the integration of the x by the area, integrated with respect to the x, exactly here, as well as right divided to the area. Right to the area, as you all pretty much are. So the x dash will be exactly equal to the integration of x by the y1 minus y2. X by the y1 minus 2. The integration term will be taken as the same as we did for the area. Same as the area terms that will be taken will be exactly dependent for the for finding or for the obtention or extraction of the x dash value as well as the y dash value at the same time. This is exactly valid for all x dash and y dash, because in case you're dealing with a two-dimensional spatial planar media. Because we're dealing with a three-dimensional spatial planar media, the limit ratio will be shifted. Or let's just say not that limit, but exactly the terms of integration will kept the same, as well as the limits of integration will kept the same and will be sustained. The entire will be sustained. X is equal to the integration of the is indicated by the term right here written all over the 2 to 1 x by the area. The area is going to be like the y1 minus y2 right integrated with respect to the x, as you can see. So the x, just like we said, and x the x variable is the independent variable of x is going to be like exactly conjugated with the term, as it just indicate that the x is pretty much differentiable. The variable of x is pretty much, or the invariant of x is pretty much differentiable. Right up to the following valued amount of the area. Right up to the following amount of the following 2, as you can see, equals to the integration of x by also the y is going to be exactly evaluated in terms of x, as you can see, friend. Turning the y1 to the x plus 2, as well as turning the y2 into the x squared. So the x plus 2 minus x squared. So the x is going to be commutatively distributed right to each of the x plus 2 and right to the x squared as well, to be integrated right by the influence of the integration or by the influence of the antiderivative terms of b as from 2 to 1 exactly, up to 1, the upper limit of the integration, or the upper term of the integration, will take with respect to the x, as you can see, up to 4.5. This is the value of the x dash. So the value of the x dash exactly equals to, after the commutative distribution for the x right to the each of the terms of the x plus 2 as well as minus x squared, as you can see. So x is going to be entering the term of the x plus 2 minus x squared, exactly. So the antiderivative of the 2 to 1 exactly the same will be kept the same. So you have to find the y, or to find the x dash value, the amount is exactly as indicated by the following fractional formulation right here for you, and the x squared plus 2x minus x cubic. X squared plus 2x minus x cubic, as you can see, for the y1, y2. Or for the y1, pretty much illustrated by x2, or x squared plus 2x, as well as y2, illustrated by the minus x squared, or minus x cubic, as indicated by 40, or integrated with respect to the x. Equals to, after the integration, or after introducing the integration right into the term, as indicated by 40 for the x squared plus 2x, minus x cubic is exactly equal to 2.25. 3.5. Equals to 0.5 inch. This is the x dash. This is the x dash coordinates of the 2xy plan. Two-dimensional spatial plane of the xy plan exactly for the bounded region, as we all pretty much have seen, exactly in the commencement of this video lecture today, as we go pretty much around. So the y dash equal to the integration, just like we said here, y squared 1 y1 minus y2 to 2 plus y, exactly here. This is the y dash. The y dash formal term to be as y1 minus 2 to 2 plus 1, or plus y, just like it. It's that simple. So just like we said, the integration terms will be kept the same as we did for the expression of the area. Will be kept exactly from the 2 to 1, from the up to 2 up to 1 exactly as an antiderivative. Influence exactly what to the functions. Also by the y1 or the y1 minus y2 to 2 plus y exactly as you can see for multiplied by the y1 minus y2. It's going to be like stands for the term that stands for the area extraction. The term that stands for the area extraction, as all pretty much all are. Exactly. By the dx. By the dx. All integrated with respect to dx. So this pretty much compels us or calls us to turn this or to turn h of the y entirely to in terms of x exactly, or to a value of x, or even to a variable of x exactly here. So the y will be exactly turned to a value of x by evaluating the x given or stipulated by the following example, or an example that we have already been visualized exactly here, right exactly to an x-axis, the independent variable exactly here. So as you can see from the right respect with the dx, as well as the area will be exactly integrated with respect, or even the area as you can see from the area here, right here, the area of y dash, the area of the y dash, or the area of the coordinates y dash to the two-dimensional xy plane for the boundary region as indicated wide, or as we all formerly have known. Y1 must be y1 y2 for dx. Y2 is or either y2 with respect to dx as indicated by the equals to the integration of the 2 to 1 same terms or the area, same terms as we extract exactly for the area of the integration, or for the area of the boundary region exactly two-dimensionally represented by the area of the boundary region two-dimensionally illustrated by the two-dimensional spatial pattern media indication or depiction. One is going to be stands for the term of the x plus 2 as indicated or as given by the following depiction of the by the formal depiction of the example, as well as stipulated by the formal statement of the question. The literature statement of the question. Literature statement of the example or the question, just like I said. So the x plus 2 is going to be standing exactly for the y1 as well as x squared to 2 plus x squared. Exactly. This is going to be compels us to find a unification for the entire numerators. Numerator by the numerators unification technicality, we can define the GCF as well as the GIF, exactly for the both x plus 2 minus x squared 2 as well as plus x squared, both fraction terms indicated by the for you, exactly for both, in order to find the simple formula that can reveal the finalized fraction form for the x plus 2 minus x squared to 2 plus x squared, what exactly here, as is indicated by the for you. By the x plus 2, it's going to be like a stand for the y1 of the area minus x squared. It's going to be like the y2 of the area as well. By the dx, all integrated with respect to dx. After finding, or after visualizing the unification of the numerators technicality, except for the both fraction term of the indicated y by the x plus 2 minus x squared 2 plus x squared, exactly here, as well as the x plus 2 minus x squared, exactly, both of them are going to be multiplied exactly to each other by commutative distribution for each of the x plus 2, or for each of the visualized numerator unification exactly, as well as the term of the x plus 2 minus x squared exactly, all integrated with respect to the x, as you can see here. So the integration is going to be by the following term, as we studied by the following term, by the antiderivative of the following term 2 to 1 for the x plus 2 minus x squared to 2, x plus 2 minus x squared, as you can see here, for all to 2. The GCF in this case is going to be like a 2. The GCF in this case is going to be like not 2 but 3 in this case, dx, or integration with respect to dx, as you can see here. For the x plus 2 minus x squared dx, as well as x plus 2 minus x squared dx, as indicated by the for. This is pretty much going to be the extent for the already visualized example, or visualized question, or visualized technicality that we just had exactly to extract the function, the main function of this very context that we're actually running through. So it's 2 equals 2. The integration of 2 to 1 for the half x plus 2 squared, as you can see, after the visualization, or after the introduction of the technicalities of the denominator unification, right exactly to this very term of the x plus 2 with minus x squared to 2 and plus x squared exactly, or even plus x squared exactly, this will turn exactly to the following indicated term as indicated by 40 by the x plus 2 all squared, x plus 2 all squared, or the squared form of the x plus 2 term by the half, or multiplied by the 1 to 2 exactly, has half minus, as you can see, over plus x quadratic, but plus x quadratic, x quadratic. All integrated with respect to the x, as you can see here. So the integration of 1 to 2 x plus 2 integrated with respect to the x, as you can see here. This will result exactly here to the integration, or the integration of the antiderivative influence, proceeding exactly right, or even interjection right into the half x plus 2 term. This will result in the introduction right exactly to the following term as indicated by the 1 to 2 x plus 2 as you can see for by the term 1 to 2 x plus 2. So 1 to 2 x plus 2 is going to be like exactly integrated as follows with respect to the x, of course. This will result in the obtention as well as the extraction of the y term, y dash term, or the y dash coordinates of the two-dimensional spatial pattern media area as indicated by for you, as well pretty much all aware of. إذا كما ترون أمامكم كما قلنا إنه الإكس داش يستخرج عن طريق تكامل تكامل الواي حجب الواي 2 كما ترون أمامكم. واحد والواي 2 من 2 إلى 1 يعني تكامل يكون من 2 إلى 1 كما مبين بالمنطقة السابقة أو كما مبين بالمنطقة التي خضنا بها في بداية المثال أو في بداية السؤال. Just like it is pretty much illustrated by the region or the boundary region is two-dimensionally by two-dimensional XY spatial planar media, as you are pretty much all aware of, that we actually already visualized, that we actually already visualized exactly in the commencement of this very example or question of the day, as you can see, as you are pretty much all aware of. So x تربيع زائد 2x ناقص x تكعيب dx. كما ترون x داش يساوي 2.25 إلى 55 يساوي 0.5 إنش اللي هي الx داش الإحداثي الx داش بالنسبة للمحور y. Is going to be like called the x-dash coordinates, sometimes called coordinates exactly with respect to the y-axis. The x-dash centroidal coordinates exactly with respect to the y-axis. يعني إحداث الx-dash لثقل المساحة لمركز ثقل المساحة بالنسبة إلى المحور الصادي أو المحور y. الآن الy-dash بالنسبة للمحور السيني يؤخذ يعني من منتصف الشريحة بالنسبة للمحور السيني. احنا قلنا الاكس داش يؤخذ من حافة الشريحة إلى المحور الصادي. So we just have said exactly here that the x dash will be taken exactly from the ledge of the two-dimensional volumetric strip or the two-dimensional strip, or the two-dimensional planar strip here, right from the ledge right up to the y-axis. This is x dash. This value of the x dash is exactly as well as distances from the y-x dash right at the ledge of the two-dimensional strip direction dealing with exactly here in this case, in this very case of reaction right now. The y-dash will be taken exactly from the midpoint of the two-dimensional volumetric strip or two-dimensional two-dimensional area strip exactly to the x-axis in this case. So the y-dash يؤخذ من منتصف الشريحة إلى المحور x كما تعلم. إذا عن طريق تعيين الواي داش بالنسبة للإكس أكسس أو بالنسبة للمحور السين يساوي تكامل من 2 1 إلى للواي 2 واي 1 أو واي 1 واي 2 إلى 2 زائد واي. هنا هو الواي داش اللي أخذناه سابقا اللي هي منصوص عليه هنا. This is going to be considered out of this very term is indicated for the plus y1 with the combinational term of the form of combination exactly as stipulated by the y dash in the previous page that we actually just stipulated for is going to be exactly stands for the formula as indicated right here for you. We should indicate this by the formula as indicated by for this is y dash equals to y1 y2 as well as plus y. This is exactly going to be expressed by a whole different term, which is pretty much going to be exactly in the term of x plus 2 minus x squared for y1, yx respectively, as well as right up to plus the x squared. It's going to be like this y2. And this is x squared is going to be like y2. X squared stands for the y2 as indicated by the following expected figure right here, exactly for the boundary region, right from 2 right up to 1. As the terms of the integration shall be said here, exactly here. So the y equal to x squared as well as y equal to x plus 2. Both of them are equal to the form of the x squared is exactly the form of the x squared, exactly as well as a straight line equation form of y equal to an x squared is indicated by 4. So this is y dash. This is y dash will turn exactly into the form in term of the x plus 2. X plus 2 stands for y1 as well as the x squared is going to be extended exactly for the y2 up to 2 right to 2 plus the x squared as you can see as well per all. So in this case يعني مثل في الطريقة الواي 1 واي 2 اي 2 زائد واي 1 هنا تمثل الواي داش. الواي داش كاملة بالنسبة للمسألة كاملة بالنسبة للإكس فنحول الإكس إلى واي. هنا الحين كان باي يعني باي مضروب بالمساحة. المساحة هي واي 1 واي 2. مساحة للمنطقة الموضحة بالشكل كما ترون أمامكم واي 1 واي 1 واي 2 واي 1 واي 2. واي 1 هي البولينوميال والواي 2 هي الواي يساوي اكس تربيع. هذه كثير البولينوميال كثير في حدود واي يساوي اكس زائد أو المعادلة ذات الدرجة الأولى. الواي واحد هي المعادلة ذات الدرجة الأولى مو كثيرة حدود وإنما المعادلة ذات الدرجة الأولى. إذا كان البولينوميال only a first order differential equation or the first order equation as the pretty much or first degree equation in this case. As well as second degree equation can be called as the y equal to x squared with the quadratic form of the x squared the form of x squared equal to y in this case. Exactly we will be evaluated right exactly in this following term. instead of just term as indicated right here for the y as well as y2 dx all integrated with respect to dx يعني كلها اللي ستكامل بالنسبة للدي اكس y1 او y2 دي اكس هنا للمسرح مثلا هنا للواي داش او مو الواي داش هنا بالنسبة للدي اكس equals to يعني يساوي التكامل الاكس زائد 2 ناقص اكس تربيع يعني الواي 1 ناقص الواي 2 الى 2 زائد الواي 2 زائد الاكس تربيع كما ترون هنا عوضنا بدل واي اكس 1 عوضنا بدل اكس واي اكس زائد 2 ناقص اكس تربيع الى 2 زائد اكس تربيع مضروب بالمساحه اللي هي اكس زائد 2 اللي هي واي 1 ناقص اكس تربيع اللي هي واي 2 المساحه كما قلنا لي مساحه لمنطقه ذات محصوره بين منحنيين او محصوره بين خط مستقيم ومنحني. Just like we said, the area of a bounded region to the visual spatial program bounded between the two straight lines as well as a curved region or a curved function given by the equation formulation of the y equal to x squared. This can be like a quadratic form of x in terms of a quadratic form of x of y exactly as well as it can be considered as a quadratic equation or quadratic equational curve exactly here that stands for the equation formulation stands or even stands in the question as they are pretty much y equal to the x squared stands in the question as formulated as or as formulated by the simulation of the question by y equal to the x squared as well as the straight line of the y equal to x plus 2 in this case x plus 2 is going to be standing for the y1 in this case as you can see right here for you يعني x plus 2 x plus 2 يعني x زائد 2 سيكون بالنسبة للواي 1 والx تربيع والواي 2 دي x يتكامل كذلك يساوي تكامل هنا لها نجمع مقامات the assembly of numerators the assembly of numerators technicalities to be implemented right exactly for this very term following term to be as an x plus 2 minus x squared 2 plus x squared as you can see. The assembly of the numerator will be implemented exactly this technique, this very particular technique exactly will be implemented right exactly for this very term as indicated right for you. يعني هنا نجمع مقامات x زائد 2 سيتم تجميع المقامات بالنسبة للx زائد 2 ناقص x تربيع إلى 2 زائد x تربيع بأخذ العامل المشترك الأكبر. بعد كده GIF or the GCF the grand common factor the grand to all the God Almighty. As you can see in front of you the x plus 2 minus x squared dx. This will be integrated entirely with respect to the x, just like we said. The x can be considered as a very variable, intermediate variable y to the y, given by simply by the question is indicated by the formula both equation form of y squared equal to x squared as well as y equal to x plus 2. In this case, the x will be differentiable by indication or by conjugation to d term as indicated by the y. As well as x can be integrable by indicating or even by association to the antiderivative as you can see from term to be as from 2 to 1, as you can see right here in front of you. So the antiderivative is 2 to 1, x plus 2 plus x squared to 2, x plus 2 minus x squared right exactly 2 as well for dx or respect to dx. يعني مكاملة هنا التكامل هنا بعد تجميع المقامات وبعد الضرب يعني من جمع المقامات بالنسبة للحد هنا وضربناه بالنسبة للحد لهنا سيكون التكامل هو كتالي من 2 ل 1 x زائد 2 زائد x تربيع x زائد 2 ناقص x تربيع x زائد 2 ناقص x تربيع إلى 2 dx. جمعنا المقامات هنا يعني ضربنا الx زائد 2 ناقص x تربيع زائد x تربيع في x زائد 2 ناقص x تربيع dx. ضربناها وجمعنا المقامات بالنسبة للاثنين هنا والمساحة كما ترون أمام كل مساحة هي موضحة بالx زائد 2 x ناقص x تربيع والx زائد 2 ناقص x تربيع. إذا التكامل يكون نصف 1 إلى 2 أو مو 1 إلى 2 نصف أو 2 على 3 x زائد 2 تربيع x أس 4 x زائد 2 تربيع x أس 4 dx يساوي تكامل نص x زائد 2 تربيع x أس 4 dx as you can see for the dx. النص هي عبارة عن 1 مضروب إلى 2 1 إلى 2 كما ترون x زائد 2 تربيع هي عبارة عن x زائد 2 زائد x تربيع والx زائد 2 هي x زائد 2 وهي الx زائد 2 تسوي x زائد 2 تربيع. إذا زائد x تربيع مع زائد x تربيع يساوي x أس 4 أو x تربيع في x تربيع يساوي x أس 4 يعني عند الضرب تجمع الأساس. As you can see, the x plus 2 is going to be like increment right here exactly by multiplying it with the same tone, with the same type of tone as x plus 2 as indicated by 40. So this will become exactly an x plus 2 right up to the power 2, which is going to be like squared. X plus 2 squared, or the quadratic form of the term x plus 2, as you can see in the form of x plus 2 squared. And the 1 to 2 will result in the form the 1 right up to 2. That's multiplied between the entire, multiplied by the entire terms indicated by the x plus 2 plus x squared, x plus 2 minus x squared, as you are pretty much all aware of. Exactly is going to be right up to 2. So this is going to be exactly resulting in the following. This will result exactly in yielding a very valid amount, as you can see, not yielding, but result in a very assembly of a valid amount in form of 1 to 2, as you can see here. So the x plus 2 the x plus 2 right up to the power 2 or square is going to be resulting exactly from the multiplication of x plus 2 by its own exactly from the other term, which is pretty much going to be adjacent to the following term of the x plus 2 plus x squared, as you can see for the x plus 2 by the x plus 2 is going to be represented to x plus 2 squared. When combined, when the powers are combined, when the bases are combined, the powers are, when the bases are multiplied, the powers are combined. When the bases are multiplied, the powers are combined. يعني عند الضرب تجمع الأسس للأساسات المتشابهة for the similar bases or for the identical bases. Exactly here. So as you can see from the x squared by x squared by the x squared is going to be resulting into the x quadratic, as you can see from x right at the power 4 x quadratic يعني x رباعية x تربيعية x إلى أس 4 دي x. إذا إن كانت نص x زائد 2 دي x تطلع النتيجة. So by the integration of the 2 to 1 exactly by the following term is indicated by the following antiderivative for to half x plus 2 dx, as you can see right here in front of you. With respect to the x exactly here, here comes the result or even the consequence that pretty much stands for the determination of the y dash as indicated by the 40. يعني تطلع نتيجة الواي داش بالنسبة للمحور x. الآن نحن لدينا الآن بإذن الله مناطق موضح، مناطق منتظمة موضح لها الإكس داش المحور الإحداثي للإكس داش للسنترويد المحور الإحداثي المساحي الثقل لمركز الثقل إكس داش، والمحور الإحداثي واي داش لمركز الثقل كذلك بالنسبة للإكس أكسس، يعني بالنسبة للمحور السيني وبالنسبة للمحور الصادي على الترتيب. So as you can see in front of you, we have the central uniform region of two-dimensional spatial parameter as listed right here for you, as indicated right before you, as you are pretty much all over. It's going to be like stands for the determination of the x dash as well as y dash with respect to the x, y, or with respect to the y as well as with respect to the x axis, respectively, as you are pretty much all over. The x dash is going to be like the x coordinates of the centroidal intellect is going to where with respect to the y dash, as well as the y dash is going to be like the second two-dimensional spatial parameter of the x y dash of the x dash y dash respectively with respect to the x axis, as you are pretty much all over. It's going to be like the second centroidal axis or the second coordinate x exactly with respect to the x axis. Or just say not axis, but only is going to be like distance. X dash is going to be considered as a distance, as well as y dash is going to be like a distance. Both of them are going to be like a distance in two-dimensional spatial parameter that we're actually dealing with exactly here for the uniform as well as uniform regions. So as you can see from the uniform regions, the first uniform region is going to be considered as a rectangle. Rectangle, which is pretty much coincident right to the each of the y-x plane, as you can see, where the y-x plane confirming an edges for the following first region is indicated by the which is pretty much going to be like a rectangle. يعني هنا rectangle مستطيل منطبق على المحاور x y، المحاور x y بحيث ال x y يكونون أضلاع المستطيل، ضلعين من أضلاع المستطيل يكونون 4 أضلاع المستطيل كما ترون. إذا ال x داش له هو b على 2، القاعدة إلى 2، والواي داش كذلك الاتش إلى 2، الارتفاع إلى 2. ما دام المستطيل منطبق على أو منطبق في المحورين الإحداثيين واي اكس للفضاء ثنائي الأبعاد المادي اكس واي for the two-dimensional spatial parameter of the xy, as long as the entire edge or the both edges of the rectangle region is indicated right for you as coincident right to go with the x y axis exactly here. So the x dash will be considered as a b to 2, which is going to be the division of base to 2, as you can see, as well as the y dash is going to be considered as the height to 2, or even the height or the edge to 2. Height or the altitude of the rectangle region is exactly here right to 2. They have the altitude as well as they have the bases. Exactly. They extract the y dash as well as the x dash respectively. Region 2 المنطقة الثاني، إذا عندنا مستطيل في أي نقطة في الفضاء لكن غير منطبق. If a rectangle any point in space or any certain point in space is exactly centered at any uniform point in the two-dimensional spatial parameter of the xy plane, as indicated, just like the xy plane they're actually noticing right here in front of us, but not coincident to each of the y-axis, or not coincident to any point in space, but centered to any point in space. Centered other than to be coincident، يعني سيكون متمركز عوضا أن يكون منطبق. هنا عندنا مستطيل سيكون متمركز عوضا عن ان يكون منطبق في الفضاء المحوري اكس واي كما ترون امامكم. اذا الاكس داش ستحسب هي كالتالي. وعندنا مسافات، يجب ان يكون هنا مسافات. اذا المسافات من حافه المستطيل، من حافه ضلع المستطيل المقابل لمحور الواي ستكون 5، وحافه ضلع المستطيل المقابل للمحور اكس ستكون 4. المسافه من حافه ضلع المستطيل المقابل للمحور اكس ستكون 4. As you can see in front of you, the ledge or the distance between the y-axis as the corresponding edge of the rectangular region, as you can see in front of you, consists of the edge as a 5-4, as indicated by the big figure 2, right? Okay, for the region 2, which is not coincident but centered in a uniform space and uniform spatial point, as indicated by the figure, which should be considered in this case as this. Which is going to be in this case considered as this very point is the equator. So the distance between the corresponding ledge or the opposite ledge for the rectangular region is indicated by right to the y-axis. The corresponding ledge of the rectangle to the y-axis is indicated by is going to be like the distance of 5, exactly here, of any dimensional gauge or any dimensional unit you could use, exactly just like 5 inch, 5 millimeter, 5 feet, any dimensional unit you could ever use, exactly here. SI or British or SI system, as we are pretty much well aware. As well as the distance from the very ledge of the rectangle, which is going to be considered as base in this case, other than be high, so the first example we said, or the first, the first stipulation we said, or the first illustration we said, the second ledge is going to be considered as base, exactly, or just say the first ledge is going to be like the base here, the base of the rectangular region is indicated for you, corresponding to the x-axis in this case. Then the separating distance between the both. Between the both ledge, the corresponding the first corresponding ledge of the rectangular region, as you can see right here for you, as indicated right here before you by the depiction of the figure, which will be considered in this case as a high right between the x, between as well right in between or even between the very ledge as or between the rectangular region and the y-axis or the vertical axis of y is indicated right before will be considered as 5. So the x-dash will be taken exactly from the center right to the ledge and from the ledge right up to the y-axis indicated by 40. This is the x-dash of the rectangular region uniformly centered at any uniform point or any uniform special point indicated by 40, but other than to be coincident to the each of the base as well as the edge. So as you can see in front of you, the second base or the second ledge is going to be considered as a base, is exactly in this case, which is pretty much going to be considered, which is pretty much depicted by the figure or even graphed by the figure right here, exactly as a straight line. This very straight line is indicated by 40. This is very straight line considered the base, as well as this very vertical straight line will be considered in this case as the edge. So as you can see in front of you, from the ledge of the very from this very ledge or the very of this from the ledge of this very rectangular region, as you can see for the center uniformly and in spatial point of the base, as you can see on two-dimensional x-y place, as you can see in front of you, from the ledge of this very rectangular region right up to the x-axis, the distance is going to be like 4 exactly here. So the y dash is going to be considered as from the center of this very rectangular region right up to the ledge, as well as from the ledge, from the point ledge right exactly to the x-axis is going to be considered as 4. So the distance is going to be considered as this very distance plus 4. As you can see, for this very distance, it going to be stands for the h2, as well as this very distance is going to be considered, or it's going to be stands for the formulation of the beta2, as you can see in front of you. So the beta2 plus x dash, as well as the h2 plus y, or let's see, the determination of the x dash is going to be considered as from this very point right up to the ledge, from the point of ledge, or the point ledge right up to the y-axis is going to be considered the determination of the x dash. This is going to be standing for the determination of the x dash, as well as the determination of y dash is pretty much limited to this very point distance right up to the ledge, from the point ledge right and from the point ledge again right up to the x-axis, as you can see in front of you. This is going to be like the determination or the acquisition of the y dash exactly here. As you can see, or the determination or the acquisition of the x dash only, other than the y dash. As you can see, the y dash is going to be considered as an h2, as you can see, if they have the altitude exactly plus the distance determined exactly right here by the 4 plus 4. Plus the 4, the distance, as you can see, as well as the x or x dash is going to be determined right exactly by the following formulation of b2 plus 5. b2 plus the distance between the ledge or the vertical edge of the rectangular region, as you can see in front of you, right to the y-axis, as well as the distance from the horizontal ledge of the y-axis or from the rectangular region, as we are all pretty much all aware of, as we are all pretty much aware of exactly here, right up to the x-axis can be considered as the form in this case. So the x dash equals to the b2 plus 5. This is the acquisition of the for both x dash and y dash respectively for the rectangular region exactly. Third region is a rectangular coincidence or centered in the origin or centered in the y-axis. This is a rectangular region centered in the y-axis. يعني هنا منطقة مستطيلة متمركزة بمحور الواي. إذا الx dash الهي يساوي كالتالي. As well as y dash exactly will be considered as in this case as a h2. which is going to take this region as a coincidence for each, both in x, y, two-dimensional spatial planet media unit vector space of components as indicated right here for you, but only centered in the y, or centered by the y-axis as indicated right here. So the only y dash will be counted, or y dash as well as x dash will be counted in this case. The y dash will be counted in this case as h2, or the altitude right divided by 2, right up to the point of origin, as well as right up to the point ledge of the upper the upper point of the rectangular region, as you can see from which can be considered as this very point, or this very point, or either this very point as well as either this very point up to the axis, or the y-axis particularly, extended into the visual spatial planet media as you can see. This is the third region. يعني بالمنطقة الثالثة هنا عندنا مستطيل منطبق بالواي اكسس، منطبق بالواي اكسس. إذا الاكس اكسس الاكس داش يساوي والواي داش يساوي اتش على 2. الواي داش يساوي اتش على 2، يعني الارتفاع كله الى 2. منا تعتبر الواي داش الى المحور اكس. الواي داش قلنا من سنتر او من منطقه منتصف الجسم from the midpoint of the body or the midpoint of the object directly with exactly right up to the point of origination, or right up to the point of the horizontal axis, or right up to the point of the x-axis as indicated by this is x-axis and this is the y-axis as indicated. So the y dash will be counted exactly as an h2. المنطقه الرابعه هي مستطيل عمودي منطبق الى المحور اكس، منطبق الى المحور اكس. اذا هنا الواي داش يساوي كذا والاكس داش يساوي بي على 2. As you can see from here, we have a very rectangular region pretty much coincident right to the x-axis. So the x dash will be considered as to be calculated, or be considered as calculated by the following formulation of B2, as you can see over here, B2, or the B is going to be like the base of the vertically positioned rectangular region, as you can see from here. Vertically positioned XY two-dimensional spatial planet media, spatial planet rectangular media, as you can see in front of you, right as it is coincident, or as the rectangular region is pretty much stationed or positioned right exactly to the x-axis, or in the x-axis, as you can see in front of you. So the x-axis will be considered as the entire base point, or the entire base traversed point, or the first entire base points exactly here, as you can see in front of you, right in the middle. From the middle right up to the y-axis. This is x dash. X dash equal to the p2, as well as y dash will be equal exactly into this very case, as you can see right here in front of you. بالجد يعني إذا كما ترون أمامكم يعني المثال مما تقدم شرحه
as an example for what's been explained ahead exactly here, for the way that explained ahead. As you can see from here, this is a rectangular region coincident to each of the x, y, two-dimensional spatial planet media have the basic axis, basic coordinate axis unit vector. As you can see from the direction of y as well as in the direction of x in the same time. So as you can see further, both ledge, the high ledge and the base ledge of the first rectangular region, as you can see from which is pretty much going to be like 8 and 6 and 8 respectively, are coincident to each of the xy plane, as you can see, or the xy component unit vector axis, as you can see in the direction of y as well as in the direction of x respectively. يعني كما ترون امامكم هنا منطقه مستطيله الشكل ذات ابعاد 8 6 و8. 6 هي الارتفاع الهايت، وال8 هي البيس. القاعده منطبقه في محور السينات، والارتفاع منطبق في محور الصادات. اذا الاكس داش بالنسبه للقاعده يعني قياسا للقاعده من منطقه منتصف النقطه المستطيل او من منطقه منتصف النقطه الى المحور واي هو الاكس داش طبعا كما نعرف. So you can see from here, from the midpoint of the rectangular region, right exactly here, right to the y-axis, so up to the y-axis, you can see from here, as we all pretty much all aware of, this is going to be like the x dash. The x dash will in this case to 4. As well as y dash exactly from the midpoint, or the distance from the midpoint right exactly here to the distance from the midpoint right exactly to the x-axis. As you can see from here, this is y dash. This is distance of the y dash, considered y dash, or the coordinates of the centroidal axis, or the centroidal both axes, the x dash and y dash. Y dash will be determined exactly from measuring the midpoint, or measuring the distance from the midpoint exactly from the midpoint of the rectangular two-dimensional spatial planet media region exactly right up till the x-axis, as you can see from here. So in this case, this pretty much stands for y dash, as you can see, which is pretty much going to be like in this case 3, half of the 6, or half of the 8. Half of the 8 is going to be like, or even let's say double the 8 is going to be like 4. As well as y dash is going to be like half the 8, or half the 6 is going to be like 3 in this case. So as you can see, يعني هنا الواي داش يحسب من منطقة نقطة منتصف المستطيل، منتصف نقطة المنطقة المستطيلة ذات الأبعاد 6 و8 الطول والعرض، the length and width, or even the height and the base، يعني الارتفاع والقاعدة، يعتبر من منتصف النقطة المستطيلة إلى المحور x الواي داش. إذا الواي داش هو 6 منتصف النقطة، يعني منتصف الارتفاع. Further regions. or even farther two-dimensional spatial planar regions, as you are pretty much aware. Farther two-dimensional spatial planar regions يعني مناطق ثنائية الأبعاد أخرى هي كالتالي. As follows, as you can see. Now the triangle. See the triangle. We have a triangle exactly. Either be coincidence to each of the xy planes, two-dimensional spatial two-unit vector basic planic axis that you are pretty much aware of, as was either to be centered at any uniform point of two-dimensional spatial planar media, other than to be coincident to each of the xy basic axes as you are pretty much aware of. So, the first example is going to be a triangle which is coincident with each of the xy planar axes, as you're pretty much aware of. So xy two-dimensional spatial planar axes, as you're pretty much aware of. So, in this case, the triangle will be considered, or will be going a calculation for the x dash as well as y dash in this very manner, as you're pretty much aware of. So, as you can see in front of you. عندنا هنا منطقة مثلثة هي بالمثال الأول منطبقة مع الإكس والواي، منطبقة مع الإكس والواي يعني بارتفاع وقاعدة منطبقة مع الإكس والواي بالنسبة للإكس والواي بالترتيب، وكذلك هنا عندنا المنطقة مثلثة متمركزة بنقطة منتظمة في المستوي ثنائي الأبعاد x و y أو في المستوي x y ثنائي الأبعاد. Then we have exactly here in the example 2, as you can see, this is very much going to be like the explanation for the example 1. Explanation for the example 1 is going to be like it will be quite later. As you can see for the explanation for the explanation or the suitable adequate visualization for the example 2, as you can see for which is a triangle other than to be considered for each of the x y basic axes to the visual planar media represented by the following vector figure, as you can see for by the following vector figure right here, exactly for example 1. At example 2, the triangle centered at uniform point to the visual spatial planar media of the xy plane, as you can see for other than to be coincident to each of the xy plane basic axes, as you are pretty much aware. So this is not to be coincident, but only centered in a uniform point. Uniform spatial point in the two-dimensional spatial planar media of xy as indicated by for you. يعني هنا عندنا مثلث متموضع في نقطة معينة في المستوي ثنائي الأبعاد غير منطبق في الاكس واي، غير منطبق للواي وغير منطبق للاكس. هنا منطبق للاكس واي. إذا منطبق للاكس واي الاكس داش سيكون كالتالي. الاكس داش سيكون القاعدة على 3 أو القاعدة الثلث القاعدة مو على 3 نص القاعدة القاعدة على قاعدة نصف القاعدة سيكون. الواي داش سيكون كذلك الارتفاع في ثلث. As you can see from the next exercise, you're going to be explicitly as well as easily as going to be determined from calculating the interface or or even after proceeding the product or after introduction of the multiplication right exactly between the third 1/3 as well as by the base value, as you can see by the height value. Let's say by the height value. 1/3 by the half value. Exactly here. In this case, we're going to be extracting the y dash. In this case, as well as the exercise, going to be extracted the same way that we just extract the y dash with, as you can see before. So the exercise is going to be extracted the same way as we extract the y dash with, which is pretty much going to be like multiplying the base by 1/3. يعني قسم أو عن طريق القاعدة في ثلث والy dash والارتفاع في ثلث. As you can see, the altitude will be referred to by h, as you can see before, as well as base will be referred to by b. Here's B and H are coming from exactly the same two words. For high stands for the high, H stands for H as an initial, as well as base stands for the B as an initial. As you can see, this is B3. This is green. The midpoint right exactly to the y axis is going to be considered as the x dash. So the x dash is going to be considered as B3, as you can see. X dash is going to be equal to B3. يعني x dash يساوي B إلى 3. المسافة بين من نقطة الثلث في المثلث إلى المحور y. الx dash. المسافة من نقطة الثلث إلى المثلث في المحور y. المسافة من نقطة الثلث إلى المحور x تسمى بالواي داش. مسافة من نقطة الثلث في المثلث إلى المحور x تسمى بالواي داش، وكذلك هي تعتبر h إلى أو h في ثلث. إذا المسافة من نقطة المثلث إلى رأس المثلث أو من نقطة منتصف المثلث إلى رأس المثلث، so the distance between the midpoint of the triangle, as you can see right up to the vertex or the upper vertex of the triangle, as you can see for you, is going to be like 2h to 3 or h by 2 to 3. يعني المسافة بين نقطة منتصف المثلث إلى رأس المثلث، رأس قمة المثلث، the top vertex of the triangle is going to be like h by 2 to 3. يعني تعتبر هي h الارتفاع في 2 على 3. كذلك المسافة بين منتصف نقطة المثلث إلى رأس المثلث الثاني ستعتبر 2b على 3. As well as the distance from the midpoint, exactly from the midpoint of the triangle, as you can see from the midpoint of the triangle, or if you just say the 1/3 point of the triangle, 1/3 to 2 midpoint of the triangle, right exactly to the vertex of the one vertex or even the second vertex of the triangle will be like b by 2 to 3, same as the h by 2 to 3. This is the distance from the midpoint to the vertex, or distance from the midpoint where both the vertices, the top vertex as well as the second vertex. This is vertex. This point is going to be like it's going to be called the top vertex, as well as this point is going to be called, or it's going to be known as the second vertex of the triangle, as you can see right before you. So this is the entire base, as well as this is the entire height of the triangle. We have here a right angle triangle. يعني هنا عندنا مثلث قائم الزاوية. بالنسبة للمثلث قائم الزاوية، بالنسبة للمثلث متساوي الساقين وبالنسبة للمثلث مختلف الأضلاع أو متساوي الأضلاع سيكون كالتالي. إذا نحن لازلنا الآن نبحث مثلث قائم الزاوية أو نبحث coordinates, centroid coordinates of the area, or the centroid coordinates of the x, y dash x dash y dash respectively exactly for two-dimensional spatial plan media exactly for the right angle triangle two-dimensional spatial plan media. يعني إذا إلى المستوى المادي الأبعاد ذات الأبعاد x dash y dash أو أبعاد السنترويد، أبعاد السنترويد اللي هي أبعاد ثقل مركز ثقل الجسم بالنسبة لمنطقة مثلثة متساوية الساق. For a right angle triangular region, right angle two-dimensional spatial plan triangular region, as you will pretty much all have. So as you can see in front of you, we have a uniform just like a triangle. This triangle just like we dealt exactly here previously, or just like we dealt, not previously, but only just like we dealt with the rectangle. The rectangle either to be positions right on uniform point in a two-dimensional spatial plan media, or to be coincidence to each of the y-x two-dimensional spatial plan media axes, as you are pretty much aware of. In this case, we have a triangle uniform, centered, or this is a triangle we exactly is going to be considered a triangle not centered, but is going to be considered as positioned, resting in a certain uniform point exactly here in the space on the two-dimensional spatial plan media of the xy plan, as you are pretty much aware of. Exactly, but other than to be coincidence to each of the xy two-dimensional planet axes, as you are pretty much aware of. So we have here, just like we said, نفس اللي حسبناه بالنسبة للترانجل x dash y dash. x dash هنا سيعتبر هنا x dash هو نفسه b في ثلث، b في ثلث، القاعدة في ثلاثة، الاكس داش اللي هو من النقطة المنتصف إلى الواي، إلى المحور واي، والواي داش سيعتبر من نقطة المنتصف إلى المحور اكس سيعتبر h على 3. إذا الاكس داش ككل للمنطقة اكس داش ككل من من موضع النقطة اللي يتمركز فيها المثلث from the midpoint, or just from the point, from the midpoint point of the two-dimensional spatial planet media uniform point exactly right, which or at which the triangle is positioned right up to the ledge of the triangle, or the height ledge of the triangle exactly, and then from the ledge of the triangle right up to the y-axis is going to be considered as the x dash in this case. So we have this idea for x dash from the ledge of the triangle, or from the vertex ledge of the triangle, vertical ledge of the triangle, as you can see in front of you, right up to the y-axis is going to be like 4 in this case, as well as the y dash is going to be calculated by the same way. From the midpoint of the triangle, as you can see, or the point that the triangle is pretty much positioned to resting, right up to the base of the triangle, as you can see in front of you, and then from the base of the triangle right up to the x-axis, that is going to be considered as y dash. From the midpoint right up to the ledge, or from the midpoint right up to the base ledge, as you can see in front of you, this is going to be considered as y dash for the triangle, in case if the triangle is coincident to each y-axis, as well as the x-axis. Same as for the x dash. In case of the x dash, or in case of the triangle is positioned right exactly in coincidence with each of the x, y two-dimensional basic planar media, as you can see in front of you. In this case, the y dash will be calculated according to the way that we have just calculated exactly with. The x dash is going to be considered right from the midpoint right up to the ledge, or right up to the y-axis. In case this coincident, or this very vertical ledge of height is coincident to the y-axis, as well as the base ledge is coincident to the x-axis, as you are pretty much aware of. So, in this case, the y dash will be considered as by combination of the x dash, or by combination of this very distance from midpoint right up to the ledge, or right up to the base ledge, right exactly in combination with the 5, which is going to be considered the distance from the ledge, from the base ledge right up to the y, or the y up to the x-axis. Same as for the x dash. As you are pretty much aware of. So the x dash can be considered as b3, as we said, or as we previously visualized, or as we formally visualized this calculation. The x dash will be considered as equals to the b equal to the following formulation. The x dash equals to the b to 3, x dash equal to the b to 3, this is the b to 3, this is the b, and this the distance, and this very distance here the b to 3. يعني الاكس داش يساوي b إلى 3 زائد 4 زائد المسافة منين؟ من الحافة الشاقولية للمثلث المتمثلة بالارتفاع إلى المحور y، إلى المحور y. إذا b على 3 زائد x داش زائد المسافة اللي هنا 4 يساوي x داش. الواي داش يساوي الارتفاع في ثلث، الارتفاع في ثلث، نفس الارتفاع في ثلث، الارتفاع اللي هو هاي h في ثلث زائد 5. 5 هي المسافة بين حافة القاعدة إلى المحور x. حافة القاعدة إلى المحور x يطلع الواي داش. واي داش إذا يساوي h في ثلث أو h زائد 5. Now we have a right angle triangle exactly irreversible or let's just say an reversible article. Let's just say here. يعني هنا عندنا مثلث متساوي ساقين نفس المثلث لكن معكوس بالمستوي ثنائي ابعاد. We have a reversible or let's just say here now as you can see we have a triangle, a right angle triangle that is framed reversibly or framed to the second side. This very counter-framed region, triangle region, counter-framed framed region يعني معكوس مثلث معكوس إلى الجانب الثاني. As you can see in front of you. The x dash is going to be pretty much way too much different. As well as the y dash, according to the distances, as well as y dash will keep the same. يعني y dash تحسب نفسها. وهنا مثلث يعني معكوس وليس منطبق. ليس منطبق على أي من الواي x أو y أو x. Now we have the counter-framed region, triangle region, is not coincidence to each of the x, y based planes. Not coincidence, or even pretty much coincidence to each of the x, y based plans, based upon axis, as you're pretty much aware of. In this case, we're going to be dealing with this very triangle as the following way pretty much implies. يعني سنتعامل مع المثلث كما تنص الطريقة التالية. من النقطة الثلثية للمثلث، من نقطة الثلث, from the third point, one to third point is going to go up the triangle to the hypotenuse. Right up till the hypotenuse. Now we do, or let's just say from the midpoint of the triangle, right exactly to the vertex, or the second vertex of the triangle. Not to the hypotenuse, but only to the second vertex of the triangle. This point exactly here. يعني من منطقة المنتصف إلى منطقة الرأس الثاني للمثلث تعتبر 2 على 2 أو b في 2 على 3. b في 2 إلى 3. مو على 3 وإنما b في 2 إلى 3. تعتبر زائد 4 يصير الاكس داش للمثلث المعكوس. Exactly from the midpoint, which is like the midpoint of the counter frame region, exactly for the triangle region, exactly from the very midpoint, right, exactly the second vertex point of the triangle, plus the 4, or in combination with the 4 distance, which stands for the second vertex of the triangle right up to the y-axis, in this case yielding the x dash. ينتج الاكس داش. إذا الاكس داش يختلف هنا. بس الاكس داش يختلف. The x dash is going to be considered as this very distance that we just said about or we just talked about. يعني هنا المسافة اللي تحدثنا عنها من منطقة ثلث المثلث from the let's just say from the third point of the triangle, from the third point of the triangle exactly here, one to third point of the triangle exactly right up to this vertical point. Second vertical point. يعني من منطقة نص المثلث إلى المنطقة هنا هي 2 b 2 إلى 3 b نفسه. زائد 4 يطلع الاكس داش. زائد 4 يطلع الاكس داش. الأربعة هي اللي هي تؤدي إلى المحور y. الواي داش يساوي h إلى h إلى 3 زائد 5. As you can see, the y dash is going to be kept the same, just like the formal manners indicate, or just like the formal ways indicate. يعني كما الطرق السابقة تنص. الطرق السابقة قصدي هنا يعني الواي 3 y على h على 3 h على 3. مو الطرق السابقة أو الطرق اللي رح ناخذها The methods we're about to visualize, we're about to go right deep into lately or even subsequently, pretty much implies. As you can see in front of the y, it can keep the same. H3 is going to be like the height to 3, or even the third by height. Exactly, right up to the base ledge of the triangle, which is going to be considered or referred to as B. As you can see from the B ledge of the triangle, right up to the axis is going to be considered as this very distance, as given right here. It's going to be the figure of two-dimensional spatial volume of the XY plane. Exactly, which is 5, by the way. So the y dash is going to be like equal to this very distance from the midpoint right up to the base ledge, right up to, and then from the base ledge right up to the x-axis, or if in which it stands for the F5, as indicated right here by the picture figure. Y dash equals to, in this case, H3 plus 5. H3 plus 5. Now we have an upside triangle. Upside triangle. يعني هنا مثلث عندنا كما ترون أمامكم بالشكل التالي. مثلث. هنا الإكس داش والواي داش سوف يختلف حسب المسافات المعطاة. So the x dash y dash exactly according to this very triangular region shaped, as you can see in front of you, by the two-dimensional xy plane media, as you can see in front, is going to be like different according to the distances given right exactly by the depiction of the figure. As you can see in front of you, this midpoint of the triangle, or just say here the third point of the triangle, what the third point of the triangle, as you can see, which provides the triangle to 3 equal thirds. 3 equal thirds, as you can see in front of you. The point we have here, exactly here, right up to the second vertex of the triangle, as you can see in front of you, is going to be considered as a 2b to 3, in order to determine the x-axis, or even to determine the x-dash coordinates. To determine, or even to specify and assign the x-dash coordinates, here we have to calculate the base distance. But from this very point exactly right at the second vertex of the triangle, which is pretty much stands for by the or even pretty much which pretty much as this point pretty much indicates, or indicated by this very point. A plus the distance from this very second point right up to the y-axis, which is 1, which is going to be like in this case 1. يعني 2 بي إلى 3 كما قلنا من نقطة مثلث المثلث إلى المحور إلى النقطة الثانية، الرأس الثاني المثلث تسمى تعطى بالعلاقة 2 إلى 3 في بي، 2 بي إلى 3، 2 بي إلى 3، يعني 2 في القاعدة إلى 3، 2 في القاعدة إلى 3. زائد المسافة من رأس المثلث الثاني plus distance from the second vertex of the triangle right up to the y-axis، من رأس المثلث الثاني إلى المحور الصادي أو المحور y اللي هي 1، يعني زائد 1. y dash يساوي 2h إلى 3 زائد 1. As you can see, the y dash is going to be like the same, just like we said, for the height as well as for the base. We are dealing with a right angle triangle exactly in this case. So the base distance is going to be considered from this very particular point, or this for the certain point here to be particular. Particular is way too much dimension, and this is as we have right now. So I'm not going to be say particular. Sorry, it's not going to be said exactly in this very context. حشو particular. والله. From this very point, exactly y to the vertex of the triangle, second vertex, this is the vertex of the triangle, as you can see in front of you. So this is the second vertex of the triangle, as you can see in front. From this very point, base distance is going to be determined right from this very point up to the second vertex of the triangle, as you can see in front, plus this very distance from the second vertex of the triangle right up to the x-axis. This is the determination, or even this is the specification of the y dash equal to 2h to 3, which means the distance from the very point right at the second vertex of the triangle right plus 1, the distance from the second vertex of the triangle right up to the x-axis. In case we have a triangle which is not pretty much coincident to each of the xy plane, or to each of the xy plane axes. This is the height and this is the base. y dash يساوي 2h إلى 3 زائد 1. 2h إلى 3 هي المسافة من نقطة ثلث المثلث إلى نقطة رأس المثلث الثاني. نقطة رأس مو رأس المثلث، خلينا نقول نقطة المثلث، نقطة نتوء أو مو نتوء، خلينا نقول نقطة الالتقاء، نقطة الالتقاء. The second junction point, as you can see, this is the first junction point, as this was this is the second junction point, etc. of the triangle. Let's just say here the vertex, or even let's just say the junction point between the both edges. This is the edge, and this is the edge, and this is the hypotenuse, and this is the adjacent. The adjacent for the 90-degree angle, as you can see from it. This is what we call, this is the adjacent, and this is the opposite adjacent and hypotenuse. يعني المقابل مجاور الوتر. كما ترون أمامكم الوتر هو هنا. المقابل هو هنا والمجاور هو هنا. This is adjacent and this is the opposite, as well as this is going to be considered as the hypotenuse, or referred to h, or referred by h, as you can see in front of you. المسافة من نقطة إلى الالتقاء الثاني للمثلث هي 2h إلى 3. 2h كله، الh كله منا، يعني منا إلى هنا فقط هي الh. 2h إلى 3. 2h إلى 3. ومن النقطة من نقطة الالتقاء الثانية للمثلث إلى المحور x هي 1. إذا 2h إلى 3 زائد 1. examples، يعني هنا أمثلة، أو خلينا نقول مثلث معطى كما ترون أمامكم بالربع الثالث أو الربع الرابع بالنسبة للمستوي XY. As you can see further, I give it a triangle reached by the quadrant, the first quadrant, or even the third quadrant of the XY two-dimensional space bottom media axis, as you can see for here, as indicated right here, part of the figure, right here for you with the C center point, or the C third point of triangle, which divides the triangle to 2 or to 3 equal triangle, or to equal thirds regions, as you can see for 2 or 3 equal regions, as you are pretty much all of it. Exactly. The required of the PI is to determine the Y dash as well as X dash for the right triangle region. يعني مطلوب هو تحديد الواي داش the y dash coordinates as well as the x-dash coordinates and toroids for the triangular region as indicated by the depicted figure, or as shown by this very depicted figure. يعني تحديد الواي داش، احداث الواي داش واحداث الاكس داش بالنسبه للشكل المبين امامكم. عندنا مسافات هي من نقطه المثلث، من نقطه التقاء المثلث الى المحور اكس هي 5، ومن نقطه التقاء المثلث الى المحور واي هي 4 كما ترون امامكم. اكس داش او هي 5، ومن نقطه التقاء المثلث الى المحور اكس هي 4. اكس داش يساوي 6 الى 3، يعني 6 هنا، 6 هنا، 6 الاكس داش لحد المحور اكس او لحد المحور واي. الاكس داش هنا 6 هنا من النقطة هنا من نقطة المثلث اسقاطها إلى إلى القاعدة by mapping this very point exactly where the very point by the distance right exactly to the base ledge of the triangle, as you can see in front of you, from the base ledge right up to this very vertex point at which the triangle is supposed to rest at which the triangle is supposed to rest, exactly here. It's supposed to rest, exactly here. Right, exactly from this very relation, from this very point, right up to the y-axis, can be considered as the x-axis, or the x-dash coordinates of the centroid. يعني من النقطة هنا إلى الحافة إلى الإكس إلى الحافة تعتبر 6 إلى 3 أو 6 هي القاعدة أو 6 الارتفاع إلى 3 هي الثلث طبعا لأن هي مثلا بي على 3 البي هي 6 أو الاتش هي 6 إلى 3 زائد 4 هنا المسافة 4 زائد 4 يطلع الإكس داش منا إلى هنا من النقطة إلى الحافة 6 إلى 3 يعني اتش على 3 من الحافة إلى المحور واي هي 4 إذا 6 على 3 أو 6 إلى 3 زائد 4 يطلع الإكس داش ككل. As you can see, why does it be like the same here exactly? Since we have this very triangular region in the fourth quadrant, or you could just say in the third quadrant, so the y-axis coordinates will be taken as it is possible, exactly, as possible as possible. So 9 to 3 is going to be like the height of 9, or you can do the base of the triangle, 9 to 3. As you can see it for you, we're just going to have to calculate this according to the x positive axis. Calculating the y-dash is going to be exactly done right or implemented right with respect to the x vertical or the x horizontal positive axis, as you can see for you. In this case, the x-axis will be positive in this very quadrant. يعني في الربع الذي نبحث به الآن أو الذي ندرسه سيكون الx موجب. In this very quadrant, the x will be exactly positive. So we have the height, or we have the base of 9. We have the base of 9, and any unit you can have choose exactly for measuring the base, or even to refer to the base. Exactly. The y-dash exactly would be 9 to 3. It's going to be like the base from this very point exactly right up to the point, or right at which the triangle is supposed to rest exactly here, will be considered as a 9 to 3, which is pretty much referred to the base to 3 or b to 3. يعني يعتبر y-dash من النقطة هنا إلى النقطة هنا، من النقطة هنا إلى النقطة هنا تعتبر هي الثلث المثلث، النقطة المثلثة للمثلث. قسم هذه المتقدم إلى أثلاث، يعني هنا تعتبر القاعدة كلها إلى 3 أثلاث، القاعدة كلها إلى 3، ومن النقطة هنا من النقطة إلى هنا هي بي على 3، بي إلى 3 أو بي في ثلث. من النقطة هنا إلى الإكس المحور إكس أو المحور السيني الموجب تعتبر 5. إذا 9 على 3 زائد 5 يساوي كما ترون. This is the this is expression for the y-dash, as you can see. For the base point, exactly for the which is promoted as a c, which is promoted by the triangle into 2/3 into 3 equal intervals, only 3 equal regions exactly here, 3 equal third regions. Right exactly from this very point, exactly right to the edge of the triangle, or the right or the opposite edge of the triangle exactly here will be considered as the point of b to 3, which is going to be considered as 9 to 3 point. 9 to 3, which refers to the relation of 9 to 3, which obviously the x dash will be calculated with. Exactly here. From the 9 to 3 point right after which is going to be considered as this very point of the ledge right up to the x positive axis, as you can see in front of you, which is going to be considered as the horizontal positive section of the axis, of the x-axis, as you can see in front of you. This is going to be considered as the determination of the y-dash according by the following formulation, or in accordance to the following formulation, implication, implication, as you can see in front of you. Y-dash equal to the 9 to 3 plus 5 is equal to the a, as you can see in front of you. Now we have two regions, two triangle regions. By taking a look to this very region, as you can see from the example 6, as you can see from, or by the question 6, as you can see the example. This is very much going to be like a question, other than to be an example. Example way too much greater information we actually have right now. So it's not going to be an example, other than to be a very question. So as you can see from this is are given as follows. As you can see from for the base for both triangles, axis has 9, as well as the height for the first triangle is going to be 4, as well as the height for the first triangle. For the second triangle is going to be like third or 3. As you can see in front. So the base is given for both triangles, the common base, or the shared base by the two triangles, for the triangle region 1 as well as triangle region 2, as you can see for both triangular sectors, as you can see in front, is going to be like 9. Both of them are sharing the same base. يعني كلاهما نفس القاعدة وهي 9. One x dash is going to be determined exactly here by the x dash equal to the 6 plus 3 equals 9. As you can see in front. This is the x dash for the first region. X dash is going to be taken exactly from this very point, as you can see in front of you. So we have 9. We have 9. 2 by 9 to 3 is going to be considered as 6. يعني 2 إلى 3 2 في 9 إلى 3 يعتبر 6. من النقطة هنا إلى النقطة هنا يعتبر 6. من النقطة هنا إلى النقطة هنا زائد 3 6 زائد 3 يطلع 9. إذا طلع ال x dash. So here comes the x dash. Hence the x dash is calculated. To calculate the y-dash exactly for the region 1 or the triangular region sector 1 exactly here is going to be calculated or it's going to be implemented as follows. يعني لحساب ال y-dash هو سيكون كالتالي. حساب ال y-dash يساوي 3 زائد 3 زائد 2. 3 منا we have 4. 3 زائد 3 الارتفاع كله مال المنطقة الثانية the entire altitude or the entire height of the section 2 exactly here will be counted for the section 2 as well as 1 to 3 of the entire fourth height. Or the entire fourth as height for the triangle 1 region, as you can see for is going to be considered as in this case occupied with 3. The entire altitude of section 2 as you can see for sector 2 exactly plus 2, which is already going to be considered as the distance from this very point of this very basic point exactly right up to the x-axis in order to calculate the y dash. And in this case, y dash can be considered as a 3 by 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2 is going to be considered as 8. يعني من النقطة هنا إلى النقطة هنا 3 اللي هي 3 هي أمامكم إلى قاعدة المثلث الأول. من قاعدة المثلث الأول إلى رأس المثلث أو إلى التقاء المثلث الثاني 3 إذا زائد 3 الثانية as you can see from the very point right up to the base of the first sector point exactly here. First sector point is going to be located at the ledge. So from the base ledge, or the base ledge, from the base ledge right exactly here to the second verse, or the second junction of the second triangle sector, as you can see, of triangle sector, as you can see, it's going to be like third plus third, or 3 plus 3. 3 plus 3 is going to be this, from this very point right up to this very ledge is going to be 3. From this very ledge exactly right up to the second junction of the second triangle sector is going to be like 3 as well. So from the very point, from the very second junction center, second junction point of the second sector, second triangle sector, as you can see from right up to the x-axis, is going to be considered in this case as 2. So 3 plus 3 زائد 3 6 plus 2, as you can see from this is the y dash for sector 1. Now we just have to move right on exactly to the sector 2, or sector triangle 2, or even triangle sector 2 region, as you can see in front of you, which is depicted by the following two-dimensional spatial plan of the XY plan. As you can see in front of you, we have the x dash. The x dash is going to be in this case as 6 plus 3. 6 plus 3. The x dash. To calculate the x dash is going to be like 6 plus 3. From the very midpoint, which are mainly bijectioning each other. يعني اثنينهم متقابلين النقاط. Both of them are exactly isolated by a certain distance between both exactly, which is going to be like 3 in this case, or 2. The distance between the both points is 2 between the both center point of the triangle region is for the triangle sector 1 as well as for triangle sector 2, as you can see from both are in the same, or even both are in the same level. Or just at the same level, but only coincidence each other, not coincidence, but only bijecting each other. يعني الاثنين مقابلين لبعضهم. لذا ستكون حساب الاكس داش نفس حساب الاكس داش للمنطقة الثانية، نفس حساب اكس داش للمنطقة الأولى. As you can see, the calculation for the x dash stands for the same way that we did exactly here to calculate the x dash throughout the region 1, or to calculate the x dash above the region 1, above the triangular sector 1, as indicated by the practical figure. By the practical figure you got here, from this very point as you can see in front of you, right up to the vertex of the triangle, or right up to the junction of the triangle, as you can see in front of you. Then from the junction of the triangle, from the point junction of the triangle, exactly right up to the y-axis is going to be considered as a 3. So the x dash is going to be considered as equals to, indicated by the following formulation. Combinational formulation is going to work for 6 plus 3 equal to 9. Same as the x dash for the region 1. But the y dash in this case is going to be pretty much different. Or the same, let's just say here. Y dash equals 2 plus 2 equal to 4, as you can see in front of you. So the y dash is going to be considered as from this very point right up to this vertex of the triangle, or right up to the junction of the triangle, or the bijunction of the triangle. Bijunction is going to be considered as a point where two straight lines with space are meeting at. يعني bijunction يعني هي نقطة الالتقاء التي هي نقطة تسمى بنقطة الالتقاء في الفضاء الثنائي الأبعاد التي يلتقي عندها مستقيمان. Two straight line segments are meeting at exactly here. In this very point, where the junction of the both two straight line segments exactly are meeting at exactly will be denoted as the bijunction point. Bi يعني نقطة الالتقاء الثنائية يعني بين اثنين بين مستقيمين between two straight line segments between two straight line segments يعني between مستقيمين why dash يساوي 2 ده 2 يساوي 4 as you can see for the y dash will be considered as a plus 2. This is the third 1 1 1. Third is only be divided by the developed point exactly here right up to the base ledge of the first triangle, or the base common ledge for the first triangle and the second triangle region, as you can see in front of you. So only have tested 2, as you can see in front of you. Only 2 from this very point exactly right up to the bijection point of the triangle, as you can see in front of the triangle sector 2 is exactly here. Plus the 2 distance that we already have exactly from this very bijection point right up to the x-axis. Here comes the y dash. Y dash equal to 2 plus 2 equals to 4. D. Now let's now contemplate يعني دعونا نتأمل الآن الإكس داش والواي داش للمناطق التالية. المناطق الدائرية طبعا. الآن نتأمل الأشكال التالية. الأشكال التالية هي دوائر، عبارة عن دوائر. الدائرة هنا متمركزة في منتصف الاكس واي بلان، يعني في منتصف المستوي اكس واي، مستوي السيني والصادي. So as you can see from the triangle, the circle region as indicated by rotationally centered or positioned or resting right exactly the midpoint of the y-x plane, as you can see. So the x dash as well as y dash will be considered as the r. Both of them are the radius of the circle, as you can see. The radius is any infinitesimal lines of rays or vectors exactly, or the circle region or the circulation exactly here that pretty much extends uniformly in the two-dimensional spatial parameter, or even uniformly in the three-dimensional spatial parameter in case we have a sphere. So as you can see, we have this two-dimensional circle region, as you can see in this circle region, the infinitesimal amounts of the r is exactly here will be considered as an x dash. Any of them will be considered as an x dash as well as a y dash in this case. So عندنا الاكس داش والواي داش للدائره، الاكس داش والواي داش للدائره المتمركزه في المستوي السيني والصادي اكس واي، يعني كما ترون الاكس داش هو نفس الار، نفس الدي اللي هو قطر الدائره، وكذلك الواي داش يعتبر نفسه الدي بالنسبه للدائره. As you can see from the x dash to be considered for a two-dimensional circle region is calculated pretty much positioned right exactly the midpoint of the xy plane, as you can see indicated by the special two-dimensional spatial parameter made inspection. As you can see right from the x dash can be considered as the entire diameter of the c-centered circulation. C-centered circulation as well as for y dash is going to be considered as the same as the x dash, which is pretty much going to be considered as this case as the d or the diameter for this circle region, as you can see from it. So diameter for the circle region is going to be considered as the y dash as well as going to be considered as the x dash, putting them in the same time. So as you can see, we have an infinitesimal amounts of diameter for the circle region as indicated by the two-dimensional depicted figure right here in front of you by the xy plane. So we have an infinitesimal amount of the diameter for each circle. Each circulation region is exactly here of the of any object, any two-dimensional object. But in case of we have a three-dimensional object, يعني عندنا three-dimensional يعني ثلاثي الابعاد او جسم ثلاثي الابعاد على شكل كره ذات مقطع دائري with a circular cross section exactly in the form of a sphere. Exactly, this is pretty much going to be considered as a three-dimensional template. In this case, the diameters will be even infinitesimally in all octants. Will be infinitesimally in all octants. يعني ستكون عندنا أقطار في جميع الأثمان. أقطار هائلة العدد في جميع الأثمان. Infinitesimal amount of diameters in all octants. We have here quadrants، يعني أرباع، الأرباع الأول، الربع الثاني، الربع الثالث، الربع الرابع. بالمستوى ثلاثي الابعاد، بالمستوى ثلاثي الابعاد عندنا اثمان، first octant, second octant, third octant, fourth octant, first octant, fifth octant, sixth octant وكذلك. And so on. Exactly. So we have to hear that x dash and y dash says for the same amount, which are mainly both of them are going to be considered basically as the diameter of the circle. We just said that the diameter of the circle is infinitesimally mounted or even valued in any circular or two-dimensional objects that you can ever come across, that we are actually can ever come across, or that we are actually coming across. Exactly. The second article is going to be a circle coincident to the x-axis. يعني الحالة الثانية, the second case, or case 2, exactly, we have a circular objects that two-dimensional leaves, and as you can see, for two-dimensional stands for or two-dimensionally depicted right here by the xy plane, which is pretty much coincident or centered in the x-axis. يعني متمركزة على أو متماكنة متشاكلة متطابقة إلى الx-axis، أي إلى المحور السيني كما ترون أمامكم بالنقطة C كما ترون أمامكم. What is going to be considered as the following point, as well as the x dash will be considered as the diameter. الx dash سيساوي القطر مع الدائرة، كذلك الy dash كما ترون أمامكم. معادلة ثابتة، أشكال ثابتة ومعادلات ثابتة كما ترون أمامكم بكل الأحوال، على كل الأحوال، يعني معادلات ثابتة على كل الأحوال. Constant equation forms or above every situation, or at every situation you can ever come across, or you can ever encounter. As you can see for the third case, or the case 3, we have a coincidence circular region exactly right to the y-axis. يعني إذا عندنا circular region يعني مساحة دائرية أو circular area region أو circular area region يعني منطقة ذات مساحة دائرية منطبقة إلى الواي-axis أو منطبقة إلى المحور الصادي. سترون أمامكم الx dash يساوي indicated morph, the x dash will be equal indicated morph as you can see morph, as well as y dash will be equaling the diameter. Y dash only is going to be unique for this very circular region, as you can see in front of you, other than the diameter. What the diameter is going to be like? The diameters of the entire circular area region is going to be the entire diameters are going to be of an infinitesimal amounts. Same as this that we just said exactly here. يعني لكل دائرة ولكل جسم دائري خلال المستوي ثنائي الأبعاد سيكون له أعداد أقطار هائلة العدد، هائلة. For each circle region, exactly, in two-dimensional spatial plane is depicted as follows, right here. For you, it will have or will gain infinitesimal amount of the diameters. Infinitesimal amount of diameters, as you can see before. For any circular object, whether the circular object was coincidence of each of the basic axes of the x and y respectively, as well as in case we have a circle that is pretty much positioned relative to each of the y-axis, just like the circle we have in case 1. This is the circle relative to each of the y-axis exactly here, which is going to be coincidence at the x-axis in a point called the point of coincidence, as well as is going to be coincidence in the y-axis in a point also is going to be called or denoted as the point of coincidence. تم بحمد الله رب العالمين العظيم حي حق